this one the nightmare before Christmas. Welcome to my channel, or welcome the fuck back to my channel. You are on Alien's channel. I still do not have an intro, so let's just get straight into the video. I heard this story actually on YouTube in one of those like scary stories, and this was one of the stories that actually gave me the creeps. And it gave me the creeps so much so that I want to deliver the story to you guys. So if you've actually heard this story, leave that in the comment below. Leave that in the comments down below. So basically, we're gonna call this girl Marcy, right? So Marcy, it was Marcy's mom, and Marcy's little sister, all downstairs before Christmas. So it's Christmas Eve. Everybody is sitting downstairs wrapping up presents. Now, they were doing last minute Christmas present wrap-ups, so they had a lot of work to do. And the mom, being a little bit on the older side, couldn't sit up or couldn't stay up for that long, would just wrap a few presents and then say, you know what, I can't do no more. I'm gonna get upstairs to bed, and I guess I'll just finish everything really early in the morning. So Marcy's mom and Marcy's sister went up to bed and left Marcy downstairs by herself. So Marcy was downstairs, and I guess she had it in her to keep wrapping more Christmas presents, so she would. And then she stops. She's sitting on the couch, minding her own business, until her kitten starts going absolutely bonkers. Like, her kitten is just going crazy, like running up and down, meowing, seems like it's trying to attack something, but there's really nobody else in the room but Marcy. So then suddenly, Marcy starts to hear the branches outside rattle, but it doesn't sound like the wind is like brushing against the trees. It literally sounds like either someone or something is literally right outside her house, literally playing in those trees and making the trees rattle. So Marcy would get utterly just creeped out, would just try not to think anything of it. Like, see, even though she was freaked out, didn't think anything of it. She just let the cat wild out, and she's hearing the branches outside, but it's fine because she's just on her phone. When suddenly she starts to hear an owl. And the owl is just, ooh, ooh. It just keeps going. It keeps going, it keeps going. But the funny thing is, this doesn't sound like a regular owl, yeah? This sounds like somebody recorded an owl and placed the recording in front of their door and is just replaying over and over and over again. It didn't sound like it didn't sound like a real animal. It literally sounded like the recording of an owl playing over and over and over again. Now keep in mind, the branches outside are still rattling, the cat inside is wilding out, and now on top of that, you add an owl that just won't stop, ooh, 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 on top of each other. So now, obviously, needless to say, Marcy starts getting freaked out because... So obviously, Marcy starts to get freaked out because, what the fuck? So, she decides, again, like, I don't know why people allow their curiosity to get the best of them, but that's what Marcy would do. Marcy would allow her curiosity to get the best of her because, one, she's never went through anything paranormal in her life before, so this would have been her first experience. So with her wondering what the hell is rattling the branches outside like that, and second of all, it was really the owl for her. Like I said, it sounded pre-recorded. So is somebody playing a prank on them? Is somebody fucking with her right now? So she decided that she was gonna go find out. So she went to the window closest to her and opened the blinds. What she saw outside, you guys, she wishes she never opened those blinds. She wishes that her curiosity would have never gotten to the best of her, because what she saw, she could never unsee. She rips the window open, and sitting at the lowest branch of the tree right outside her house was a creature that she would describe to be absolutely terrifying and hideous. So she said that this creature was extremely skinny, hairless, it had voids for eyes, so like the eyes were just completely black, right? It had no hair, and it was hunched over. It looked absolutely hideous, and like I said, it has no real eyes. It was just a void. So when she opened the window, even though she said that the voids were like literal black voids, she said that the creature turned around and stared at her. So while she's looking out the window, this creature would then turn around and stare at her while the creature is sitting at the bottom branch of the tree. So Marcy in the house is just like, she realizes that the creature is making eye contact with her, and she's startled. She's like, what the fuck? but she cannot move because she is literally stuck or frozen with fear because she's never experienced anything like this before. And she's also just trying to figure out, is my brain playing tricks on me? Like, what is this? Finally, the strength would kick back into her body and she would realize that she's in absolute danger. So she would close those blinds and literally take her kitten and run upstairs straight to her room. When she gets upstairs straight to her room, the howling did not stop. If anything, the owls, the recording, it seems like it intensified and it was getting closer and closer and closer to her. So she ran upstairs, booked it to her room, and shut her door. Again, it sounds like the owl, the branches, just literally went from the opposite side of the house to now happening to her side of the house. So she's in her bedroom, hearing the owl really loud, hearing the recording over and over and over and over again, and it's getting more and more and more intense. So she goes, oh my God, maybe she didn't see the right thing. So she's trying to convince herself that she didn't actually witness what she thinks she just witnessed. She didn't see that creature down the door. Oh my! So she would go and open her blinds in her window to assure herself that she didn't see what she thought she saw and that everything was safe. So she went on to open it and also to see, is the creature still down there? She opens it, but this time the creature has moved from the tree all the way around to the back of the house to in front of her bedroom window. So now this creature was sitting right outside her bedroom window and the owl was going off for hours. Needless to say, she was absolutely freaked the fuck out. So she closed those blinds and could not go to sleep. She was way too scared to go to sleep. So what she entered her closet and hid inside of her closet until sunup. And she said that the second she got inside her closet and closed those doors and just basically said, I'm just gonna hold out until sunup, that's when she heard the owl slow down. That's when she heard the hooling stop. So she stayed in that closet pretty much until sunup. If you hear something outside, no you didn't. If you see something outside, you really didn't. Like, it's just, surprise, it's a 2-in-1. Yes, yes, yes. This one is a pood story. So if you don't know anything about powder, powder is basically like this white powdery substance that Haitians would basically like put in front of other people's doorsteps or in front of their own doorsteps. And the pood itself is there to cause whoever it's set out for harm. So for example, if I don't want you to come over to my house anymore, I will sprinkle pood in front of my door. And the second you step on that pood, honey, it ain't gonna be too good for you. Story time. This was one of the submitted stories that I got, and this was somebody's pood story. So basically, this happened to John's grandfather. His grandfather and grandmother were pretty much at the end of their relationship. It was a tumultuous relationship and they dragged it out way too long. So it was finally getting to the point where, okay, let's just separate. Even though we're old as shit, let's just separate because we can't keep living together. And John was very much so aware that his grandmother was into some dark shit. His grandmother is from New Orleans and is very much so into Haitian voodoo and hoodoo and all that stuff. So the grandmother was actually not a big fan of the grandfather leaving her. She actually wanted them to stay together and actually just die together. At this point, we don't have that much time together, so where the fuck you gonna go? So the grandfather still would make the decision to leave. He said, you know what, I don't know, I don't care, I can't do this no more, I'm moving out. To the point where the grandfather winds up moving a little bit closer to John. So now the grandfather lives closer to John and the grandmother lives where the grandmother lives. However, the grandfather didn't get all of his stuff out of the grandmother's house. So even though he had moved into that house, he still had to go back to the grandmother's house to gather the rest of his clothes. So that's what he would do. So one day, John overheard his grandmother talking about how she had ill intentions towards the grandfather. And he overheard the grandmother talk about pood or powder. And John doesn't really know anything about powders or pood or anything like that. But just based off of the way that the conversation was going and how he was overhearing it, he could tell that the pood was not something good. It was not something that you would want. So basically, he would run back and he would tell his grandfather, as a matter of fact, don't even go back to collect the rest of your stuff. Like John tells his grandfather, don't even go back to collect the rest of your stuff. As a matter of fact, you're good. Just stay here with whatever it is that you have. Fuck the rest of your stuff. the grandfather would say, nah, I need the rest of my stuff. I'm going up there and I'm getting the rest of my stuff. And he would try to talk his grandfather out of it, and grandfather would not listen. So much so that he told the grandfather, he said, grandfather, listen, I heard her talking about some magical shit. I heard her talking about some pood, some powder stuff. So I just want you to be aware. If anything, if there's anything that you do, if you see that there's powder in front of her house, if you see powder anywhere in the house, don't touch it, don't step on it, don't do anything, because I'm pretty sure she has it there to cause you harm. The grandfather was just like, okay, like, somebody's been watching one too many conspiracy theories, so yeah, I'm just gonna not listen to you. So basically, the grandfather would go on and go to the grandmother's house to get the rest of his stuff anyway. When he gets to the grandmother's house, he actually did see powder in front of the door. However, he really thought that his grandson was just bugging and watched one too many conspiracy theory videos, so he didn't think of anything of it. He stepped right on it, walked into the house, and gathered the rest of his stuff. And he left. Like nothing happened, and he made it home. When he made it home, you know, the grandson's thinking, yeah, maybe I was wilding. Maybe it was one too many conspiracy theories. But nah, I really overheard my grandma talking about this. So, I don't know. Well, fast forward to like a few months. This grandfather would experience just a series of just unfortunate events in his life. He got a heart attack. He got into a car crash. Like, all of them, by the way, were fatal. All of the accidents that his grandfather got into was pretty much fatal. Ever since he left his grandmother's house, ever since the grandfather left the grandmother, his life has literally gone downhill. Not only has he gotten into several car accidents that were fatal, but he's also gotten a stroke that would also take away half of his speech, so he can barely talk. And then on top of that, he is bedridden. His health steadily declined for 2 years to where he officially had no more strength in him, and he passed away. Until this day, the grandson, John, is under the impression that that grandmother had absolutely everything to do with her grandfather passing out, because everything started to go to shit for the grandfather after he made the decision that he was going to leave her. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? The pood, the stuff is so very serious. Like, watch out for your family members. Watch out for your spouse, your cousins, your uncles. Like, not everybody has good intentions at heart. People want to eat you. Like, keep your business to yourself out here. Like, crazy. Anyway, I'm really glad that if you made it this far through the video, you clearly want me to get monetized, and you clearly want me to get so monetized that I quit my job and I start to do YouTube full time, and I start to do story times full time. Because it takes a lot of research for me to, one, find these stories, and two, read these stories to actually give to you guys. And if you skip my fucking outro, you ain't shit. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you, my abducted humans. I love you. I fucking love you, abducted humans, so much. I'm gonna make a shirt that says abducted humans on it, because you guys deserve to be on a fucking t-shirt. Yeah. If this is your first time seeing my face, you better go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, or else I'm gonna send a demon after you. If this is not your first time watching my YouTube channel and you still not subscribed, I'm definitely sending a motherfucking demon after you. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, and make sure you also follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram so I know it's real. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You guys 2 stories in one today, and that is because we're all gearing up for 3,000 subscribers. I swear to God, for 3,000 subscribers, I'm gonna give you guys like a 30-minute story. Like, I'm gonna give you guys all the stories in one. Thank you, okay? I really do appreciate it. I really do love you guys. Make sure you interact with my other content that I post on YouTube. Please, I appreciate it. Make sure you turn on your post notifications so you can get a notification every single time I post one of these stories, so you can binge watch, okay? Okay, so without further ado, have a good day, have a good night, keep your business to yourself. Don't be a lugau, don't do love spells, stay away from magic if you don't understand it, and magic is not bad. Voodoo is also not bad. And that's it, that's all. Thank you for coming to my tech talk.